I'm Kelly. I'm the owner and founder of Green Juju.
And I'm Billy. I'm the Vice President of Nutrition and Communication. So we are here today to talk about bone broth, which is one of my favorite things, very near and dear to my heart. So Kelly, when you originally developed these bone broths here, what was the reasoning? What was going through your head there?
So the bone broth, the bison bone broth started way back in the very beginning with Bailey when we made the Just Greens blend. And Bailey had she had a joint cancer. And so I made bone broth at home for her using bison bones because it was the only protein she could tolerate at the time, to try to help with her leaky gut, to support her joints, to help her detoxification. And this was a huge staple in her diet for many, many months. And I actually believe that over the course of about 9 months, it's what helped her come to be able to tolerate more proteins and stuff, because I think it started to help her gut. And so that is how I started making the bone broth on the side, and then I ended up adding it into our Green Juju blends. Kind of funny side note on that is that thanks to the bone broth, I got my husband to build me a commercial kitchen because I was making it in a crock pot in our tiny little loft condo, and he could not stand waking up to the smell of it. And so, quicker than I've ever seen him do anything, he built me a commercial kitchen, and that's how Green Juju got started.
Well, and tell me a little bit about the sourcing in these two particular, the duck and the bison.
So for the bison, we work with a farm called the Honest Bison, and what's cool about these is that they're grass-fed and grass-finished bison, which is pretty hard to find, surprisingly. So we've been growing with him over the years, and we're buying more and more bones this year, but it's been great to have that partnership with him over the years. So that's what's significant about those, the bones that we use in there. We get a really nice gel and a thick broth, and that's always been important to me.
So what about the duck?
The duck, we use free range duck bones, and they are from the Pacific Northwest, I believe. Yeah. Okay.
So a little bit for you guys, if you're wondering, if you're new to bone broth and wondering what are some of the health benefits of bone broth. I mean, there's a very wide variety of those health benefits. The first, being that I think people focus on would be moisture, because remember that most dogs, especially ones fed an overly processed diet, are going to be devoid of, they're going to be low in moisture because they're eating foods that have had the moisture removed. So it's a great way to add moisture back. It's also a really incredible source of protein, and those proteins are in free amino acid form, which means the kidney doesn't have to do any work, which is great. We don't have to stress the kidneys, and those proteins are directly just applicable to the body. So, which actually has been shown to reduce the body's need for protein. So it's so efficient that you need less protein to do the same amount of things when it comes to your dog, just living and being healthy on a daily basis. You also have the wonderful collagen in there, which is that protein source, but also helps with joints, along with all of those wonderful joint nutrients, the glucosamine, the chondroitin, the MSM, all of those acids that are there to rebuild joints, because it's actually coming from bones, right, and joints. But also that collagen does a really great thing in helping to line the digestive tract and reduce inflammation in the digestive tract. So there's a lot of benefits, and I think every dog can benefit from this, be it a puppy for development of bones and growth, all the way up to seniors and reducing and helping those animals that are having a little bit more trouble getting around. So,
and the great thing is that every single dog and cat loves this stuff. It's a great way to entice picky eaters. You pour it over anything that they're eating. I actually, with my Frenchie, she's older, and in the summer the heat is getting harder and harder for her. And so I use this because it's a great natural electrolyte. So it's kind of like a natural Gatorade. And so I'll give this to her like in place of a bowl of water on a hot day, and she slurps it up. But should we talk about kind of how to serve it?
Yes, absolutely. So when on a daily basis, if you know the person out there watching this has a dog or cat, what are the serving suggestions, and also how long can we keep this in the fridge?
So we can keep it in the fridge 5 to 7 days, depending on what. And you can pour it over any meal. It would be a wonderful way to add some moisture back to kibble, especially if you have a puppy and you're trying to get that the kibble to be softer for their teeth. It's a great thing to serve on its own. You can make those little frozen molds out of it as a treat. It's a great way to rehydrate freeze-dried foods. Yeah.
And keep in mind too that this is, well, it provides a lot of nourishment and health properties. It is very low in calories, so it's very hard to overdo it. So if you have a senior dog, you know, we would recommend starting at the recommended, you know, dose on here, but you can go higher than that in order to get some of those extra health benefits in terms of doing that. So thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you guys, you know, that your dog or cat loves our bone broth. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.